I'm Diane Marie Collins, and you have entered the DM Zone. The DM Zone recently went on the road to the Sedona International Film Festival in Sedona, Arizona. We visited with Ed Asner. He was live on stage in Oxymoron, and Richard Dreyfuss in a movie called The Lightkeepers, a wonderful romance set in 1912. We then visited with Ashley Wren Collins and her partner Sean in a fun movie called Chasing Taste about a film critic who loses his sense of taste and smell. Then Sean Lackey and Kevin Farley were in a fun movie called The Yank about an Irish American who finds out he may not be as Irish as he thinks. Lots of fun, great humor. You really need to see that movie. Also, serious topics were covered at the festival: Alzheimer's, water shortage, peace, and immigration reform. These movies, documentaries, and shorts were rooted in peace, lost music, the immigration paradox, and Slingshot. It was a wonderful time being able to visit with these creators, young, old, it didn't matter. The thing that was similar about all of them, the passion that they felt for their craft. If you've never attended the Sedona Film Festival, the Sedona International Film Festival, you really need to. It is a must-see. It's exciting and fun, parties, movies, live theater, everything combined. I hope you find the time to put it on your list soon. Let's watch these interviews now, okay?
With all of the food on television today, with the Food Network and everything, food's gotten sexy.
Yes.
So how does this film kind of fit into that genre? I mean, it looks like a fantastic, piece. Looks like there's a lot of comedy in it and so forth. But tell me how that fits. Any questions?
Oh, great.
Right. Well, I think, eating is one of the most pleasurable things we do in our lives. And yeah, food is really hot. You said it's on the Food Network. People are taking longer times at restaurants because they're taking pictures of their food and posting them on social media. And coming together for a meal is just an awesome thing. So celebrating food is one of the primary things we do in the movie.
Absolutely. Food is, I've been thinking about it, and food is home, and home is truth, and so much of the movie is about our character trying to figure out who he really is, and the journey of coming to yourself is no better. There's no better way to tell it than through a food metaphor, and the film has got great characters that are all have a crazy relationship to food, whether they're overeaters or they're hyperallergic or have super sensitive palates and smell and scent. Everybody's got a really distinct relationship to food, and placing it in the world of television networks and the sort of fast-growing food and chef phenomenon. We actually made up a game show for the TV for our film called The Palate Challenge, where food critics guess ingredients in food.
Yeah. I love it. I'm DM Collins with DM Show. I love the concept of it. The idea, you just touched on something about how the rising of chefs. Was that part of the concept when you thought about the movie Chasing Taste, that this new rising film critic would rise along? How did it come?
Well, I think Chasing Taste is actually very unique in the way that it was made. We actually got together a group of people. I called up Sean and I said, I had this voice in my head that says we should make a movie together. And
I should have run. When people start telling you about voices in their heads, I should have.
But instead what he said was, I love that voice in your head. And so we brought together people we love, and then he brought in our screenwriter, Lori Fisher, and she came up with the idea for Chasing Taste. She loves food. She's an award-winning playwright and screenwriter, and everything she writes somehow works food into the story.
Yeah.
You're gonna find me a new food critic by the end of the day, or you're fired.
Just because you didn't get your book published to worldwide acclaim doesn't mean you won't.
How did you and my sister meet?
Your sister liking the way I dusty with the feather brushy.
I want someone who can take Bennett Brulee down.
Isn't everyone a food critic?
I've eaten curried bat testicles in the blazing hot sun.
Food is the pathway to the soul.
I've been eating since birth.
I'll get back to you.
By the way, the pantry might smell a little like pine sol.
Pantry?
Palmer said you wouldn't mind.
You must be the eccentric artist.
You must be the down-and-out writer.
Chase, I never said you weren't talented. It's just that you have never, not once, ever made money off of it.
No wonder you're so unhappy.
Oh, I'm unhappy because I currently reside in a pantry.
You must be our new food critic.
I am?
Sexually ambiguous is so 2008.
We've got a makeover to do.
Call me the down-home taster. I'm shooting from the hip and telling it like it is.
They made you a food critic?
This is a life-changing moment right here.
Great job!
According to your MRI, your cribiform plate has been fractured. You've lost your sense of taste and smell.
What?
I cannot smell, which probably means I cannot taste. Yeah, see? Nothing.
Use my nose.
Seriously?
Chase, this is your chance to get out of my pantry.
What do you think?
I think I need to find us a mouth.
I'm Nate, 9L. I take my taste buds very seriously.
Basically, you guys will do everything together, but be as one.
I just wanted you to know that I know what's up. Don't know how to prove it, but believe me when I say I absolutely will. I'm sorry.
Cupcake.
Let's meditate and urinate and regroup.
Yeah, sure. So, so the inspiration for the character and the plot and all the locations actually came from our team. So we brought together our core cast. We sort of figured out where are our favorite places in New York City to shoot, and what do we want to see on film. And then we sat in a room and all told stories, and we heard the voices of all of our core crew. And then the writer wrote the screenplay for the people in those places. So there was no screenplay before we cast the film.
Right. So we shot, and one of our producers, Natalie Weissman, had a beautiful apartment with views of the Statue of Liberty. We had someone who had access to a sailboat. We hit up our favorite restaurants where we were regulars. My dentist gave me the keys to his office. No questions asked. Best dentist ever on West 86th Street in New York City. Yeah. So, we felt really fortunate.
and it was serendipitous that it was about that food was something we were passionate about, and it was so in the zeitgeist as we were making it. There were just an eruption of food blogs. You couldn't go to a New York restaurant without people taking pictures of their meal. Right. And so we really were just thrilled to tap into that. That was great.
When you talk about that, the food critic down in Phoenix out of the Arizona Public wears disguises. So now that videos come in, they never show him.
No, that's awesome.
Hysterical.
That's amazing. Love that.
Your food critic use disguise.
Well,
Chasing Taste has the down-home taster. So he is sort of has a little cowboy hat and boots and.
Right. He's got his own persona, and there's actually.
Yes,
they are aware, but there is sort of there is a little bit of there's not really revealed who he actually is. He's only known as the down-home taster. Right. So but that's something we definitely thought about, was how can we work a persona, a character food critic into it.
And he has an arch rival as well, who is aptly named Bennett Brulee.
Since then, the accent. Do you want to tell about the accent? How was this freak accident determined?
Oh, the freak accident. Well, I mean, when you have access to when you have access to a sailboat, you know, there's only one thing you can do with that, and that's, you know, yeah, exactly, throw somebody overboard. So yeah, so we figured we had to figure out a way to do that, and it was the perfect setting for and a freak accident.
Out of curiosity, you guys working right now on actually selling the film into foreign markets, U.S. markets, maybe a theatrical premiere, you know, release here in the States. What's the plans for the film now after the film festivals? Because I understand you have a great reaction to the film festivals. So the next logical step is making some money and first in, first out, paying off those investments.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, this is, we're trying to use the film festival market or the film festival world as a platform to meet sales agents and to find the right distributor for the work. We think this is a film that could exist really well in theatrical release, but also it's a great it would have great life on television and on DVD and on demand. And so we've started to get interest in it. We don't have anything committed yet for distribution, but this is a film that we think is going to reach a big audience.
Well, speaking about technology, one of the big players in buying films right now is Netflix, right? And a lot of films are going digital. I mean, Blockbuster used to do it when they saw the end of the video rentals. So right now, it's owning content, controlling that content, right? So are you looking at some of these digital distribution platforms?
Absolutely. Yeah, on demand is a great option for independent film, and that is not we are looking. We're definitely looking into on demand, especially in foreign markets and places where we think, we think that food transcends culture. So, you know, if we can get our poster in front of audiences, they're gonna want to click on it. So yeah, we think
definitely. You go to Japan, you go to Singapore, you know, around the world, people are all about their food. Pictures on social media, dinners everywhere.
Absolutely.
And I have just one last question for you, and that's because I'm a fourth-generation Arizonan. What do you think of Sedona? Have you been here before? And what do you think of Sedona, Arizona, and the film festival?
God, it's so beautiful here. I have not seen much of the middle of the country. I've only seen Sedona in pictures, and we drove in the dark, and then to wake up in the morning and see what we had missed driving in the dark. I mean, he kept calling his wife and saying, "I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out about the scenery."
So
beautiful.
Yeah, Arizona to me is it's just this magical place. When I was in college, I went on a road trip cross country, and I was with a friend for a while, and at one point he had to leave, and I had to drive through Arizona myself. And so I drove by myself diagonal from southwest to northeast across the country, and I had never felt more at home, more embraced by a landscape. It's such a magical place to be. And I had what must have been one of the more transformative moments of my life at Monument Valley, you know, in the northern part of the country. And it's always stayed with me. And so coming to Sedona for the first time and seeing this landscape again, I felt like I was home. I really felt like it was just the perfect place to be. And the film festival.
Patrick just makes everyone feel so welcome.
Yeah. The hospitality at this festival is incredible. We can't thank them enough. Patrick has been an incredible director, and we are so excited. We're spending as much time here as we can. So we're very excited about it.
I told you would enjoy those interviews. I had so much fun at the Sedona International Film Festival. And remember, you have been in the DM Zone. Come back soon.